All right, guys, so we got to talk about an insane story out of East Harlem in crime-ridden New York City that I've lost faith in regards to New York City getting better on crime, because the mayor, who's supposed to be tough on crime, has not impressed me. He has endorsed a progressive DA who, in my opinion, is going to lead that city down the path of destruction, like a lot of these other cities that have embraced progressive criminal justice reform. And, you know, stories like this really, really, really tug at my heartstrings. And because of that, and because of my platform, I feel the need to bring light to these stories, because these stories are important. The mainstream news, the national news, is not going to talk about this stuff, but this is actually what we should be talking about. The destruction of our criminal justice system, the destruction of cities around this country, because honestly, these progressives are letting criminals run the asylum, right? America is moving towards a state of chaos led by the Democrat Party. That's just the God honest truth, right? And this story right here involves a 19-year-old girl by the name of Kristal Bayron-Nieves, who was working a late shift at Burger King and was shot and killed during a robbery in which, you know, the suspect came in and like pistol whipped a couple employees and I guess tried to rob the cash register. And apparently she was opening up the cash register, or trying to open up the cash register, and she was struggling with it. Eventually she finally got it open, handed the suspect like $100, and at that point the suspect shot her and she died later at the hospital. Incredibly sad story. And the suspect was on the run up until today, in which they actually finally arrested the suspect, Mr. Winston Glynn. And I want you guys to take a look at this news clip of this incident, as this guy, after, you know, allegedly committing this murder, is going to basically demand reparations for 400 years of slavery while being arrested. Take a look.
The breaking news in the murder of a Burger King worker in East Harlem. Police arresting 30-year-old Winston Glynn, charging him with killing the cashier, 19-year-old Kristal Bayron-Nieves, as he robbed the restaurant. Police say he shot the victim when she struggled to open the register. Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan live in East Harlem with the very latest. Jim.
Dave, few crimes in memory have shocked this city like the cold-blooded, absolutely senseless murder of 19-year-old Kristal Bayron-Nieves on Sunday morning. Who could have committed such a horrific crime? Well, today, police have their answer. A 30-year-old man with a long criminal record was arrested for the murder as a crowd of angry New Yorkers jeered at him. 30-year-old Winston Glynn was brought out of the 25th Precinct in shackles today, whining about how much they hurt and something, as he approached the police car, about reparations.
Where's our reparations for 400 years?
But outside the 2-5, a crowd had gathered to greet the man accused of one of the most cold-blooded murders in recent history.
You got me.
It was an angry crowd. They were not there in his support.
Burn in hell. You gotta burn in hell.
Winston Glynn is charged now with the Sunday morning murder of 19-year-old Kristal Bayron-Nieves, who was working the overnight shift of a Burger King in East Harlem. Bayron-Nieves had handed the gunman the money from the register, but was shot and killed anyway. The murder shocked the conscience of the city.
I don't come to press conferences of arrests, but this one was so personal. For a cold-blooded killer to shoot a 19-year-old child after she complied. We have been saying this over and over again. There are too many guns on our streets.
On Sunday morning, the gunman was wearing nondescript clothing and a mask, so little for police to go on.
To say that our detectives started out with not much more than a shadow would be accurate.
But police followed him on surveillance camera before and after the shooting, where he showed a pair of white earbuds hanging out of a pocket.
He was attired in a ski mask, a black jacket, and what became a very important clue in this investigation, white earbuds hanging out of his pocket.
Yeah, those white earbuds were consistent in all of the video. They used dozens of surveillance cameras in the subways and at street level to track the individual with those white earbuds. And then they arrested him yesterday afternoon. He has not confessed. As soon as police approached him, he demanded a lawyer.
Tony. Officer, out.
Guys, back off the car, back off the car. You gotta be the money, man. Why?
Get you in here, okay? Watch your back.
And the judge don't charge me guilty. Why am I guilty? You know they charge thing that I do and do every day? Where's our reparations for 4? Why am I guilty and the judge don't charge me guilty? Why am I guilty? You know they charge niggas for thing that I do and do every day? Where's our reparations for 400 years of slavery? America!
All right, so as you can see, that guy, he is getting arrested because he is the suspect. Police tracked him down. Good job on them. And he is basically asking for reparations, and he's saying that America's going to burn. Now, background on this guy. Apparently, allegedly, he is homeless. He is not even an American citizen. He's a Jamaican national, right? You know, the same people that Eric Adams supports voting in our elections. Yeah. They want people like this guy to vote in our elections. Okay. I just want you to understand how insane the people running New York City are, right? Even the people that's supposed to be moderate are still insane. Okay. Apparently he had worked at that Burger King before, back in 2020, the same one that, you know, he robbed and unfortunately, you know, murdered and killed that child. Okay. Now, unsurprisingly, this guy has a long rap sheet of crime, right? He's been arrested at least 3 times prior, once for criminal possession of a weapon, a menacing charge back in 2018, and a criminal mischief charge in 2017. He also, just a few months ago, on November 30th, was arrested for menacing a man with a screwdriver, but was released because his crime was not, quote, bail eligible, right? So it's almost like the same story over and over again, right? These people who have a proven history of being criminals in this country, okay, that repeatedly commit crimes over and over and over again, being let back into the streets until they actually commit a crime like this, until they actually murder somebody. Again, because of these soft on crime policies. Okay, after the 3rd crime, this guy should have been deported back to Jamaica. Okay, you're not an American citizen. You're over here committing crimes. You got to go. Right? If we had a tough criminal justice system that was doing their jobs, you got to kick these people out. If you come over here, you're not even a citizen, and you commit crimes in our country, you got to go. We're sending you back to Jamaica. Bye. Okay? If we would have done what we were supposed to do, this girl, this child, she would still be alive. She would still be alive. And that's the sad part about this, guys. That's the sad part. You know, if this guy had not actually shot this girl, because of the new DA's soft on crime policy, specifically when it comes to armed robbery, okay, if you don't actually do anything violent, you can, you know, rob somebody with a weapon. As long as you don't commit any violence, that could be a misdemeanor, right? They could downgrade that to a misdemeanor, in which this dude could literally rob somebody, as long as he didn't kill anybody or hurt anybody, and then he can go rob somebody else until he eventually actually does kill somebody. Okay? That is some of the policies that these woke progressives that are running this city are implementing. Okay? And it's leading to the loss of lives, innocent lives, teenagers, kids who are simply working a job to try to, you know, have some extra spending money so they can hang out with their friends. Maybe so they can support their families. It's disgusting, man. It's terrible. You should never hear stories like this. Never. Again, we haven't even talked about the whole reparations thing. Okay, and America's gonna burn thing. Okay, this man's coming up here talking about some, I need reparations for 400 years of slavery. And I'm like, dude, you from Jamaica, bro. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that was Jamaicans that was slaves. But you're not even really from America. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is what you get when you brainwash people with this victimhood ideology. This guy's homeless. He's probably, feeling some type of way about being homeless, not being successful in life. And he's been told, aka radicalized by those on the left who push the victimhood complex that, hey, nothing's your fault. It's all the white man's fault. The reason why you can't get ahead in life, it doesn't have anything to do with you. It is the white man's fault, right? It's 400 years of slavery, okay? It's white supremacy. That's the issue. So guys like this that probably feel entitled to something say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go out here and, rob this Burger King. I'm going to kill somebody if I have to. All over $100. $100. And guess what? The BLM activists told us that, hey, if somebody robs a store, whatever, it's just reparations.
Care if somebody decides to loot a Gucci or a Macy's or a Nike, because that makes sure that that person eats. That makes sure that that person has clothes. That's reparations. That is reparations. Anything they want to take it, because these businesses have insurance. They're going to get their money back. My people aren't getting anything.
We're just getting our reparations back. Again, I've made this argument over and over and over again. The language that is coming from the left is radicalizing people. This 400 years of slavery, we need this, we're owed this, we're owed that. My life is bad because of white folks. My life is bad because of slavery. That is radicalizing people. And then when those same people see people on TV looting and robbing and stealing from stores, and the mainstream media says nothing about it, our leaders say nothing about it, they look the other way, and then you got people coming on TV saying, well, yeah, it's reparations. Again, it enables this type of behavior. Combine that with soft on crime, progressive criminal justice reform policies, and this is what you get. This is what you get. Again, it's incredibly sad, man. It really is. And this is one of the most disturbing cases that I've talked about. And I know I kind of talk about this stuff quite a bit. I know I'm kind of the bearer of bad news for you guys, but I do it because I really do feel like it's important to call these criminals out, to call out these policies that are hurting this country, that are costing people their lives. That's why I do it, because it's not going to get mainstream media attention. You're not going to see it on MSNBC. You're not going to see it on CNN. You're not going to see it. They'll be talking about, the conspiracies about the attack on democracy or something. They're not going to talk about this. Real issues that affect real people. So, rest in peace to this young lady, Miss Bayron-Nieves. And, I'm praying for their family. I hope that this person, if they're in fact guilty of this crime, I hope that they rot in prison, okay, for the rest of their lives. If not, get a more steep penalty, right? As long as they're punished to the fullest extent of the law. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.